All right, hey, what really happens inside a title company when your deal is on the line? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtains on title and escrow process. And trust me, you guys, whether you're a buyer, a seller, or a realtor, you need to hear this. So don't drop off, take some notes because it's going to get really, really interesting. Okay, welcome back to the Closing Room AZ. I'm your host, Jesse Moreno. Been in the business for 30 years, you guys. This show has been built for real estate professionals as well as homeowners and investors, anyone that wants to hear straight talk about how this industry actually works. So great stuff here. There's no fluff. There's no fillers. Just real conversation that drives real results. All right, so before we bring in our guest today, I just want to give a big shout out, as I always do, to our sponsor of the day, Driggs Title Agency. Hey, Driggs has been around since 2007, so they've been in the game for a while. And they've closed over 200,000 transactions across Arizona and Nevada. And that's not a small number, you guys. That is a track record. Keep that in mind. If you're looking for a high-level escrow experience from contract to close, well, make sure that you reach out to Driggs Title. They can help you out. And no matter if you're an agent, an investor, or just a homeowner, give them a call because Driggs Title delivers all the time. Give them a call. Hey, here's the number. Reach out to them, 602-796-2029. Make sure that you ask for Ignacio Ochoa. He is the business development manager for the team. And when you do, let them know that the Closing Room AZ sent you. All right, you guys. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. I'm glad that you're on my show. We are going to dive into some great information. Before we do that, just a quick reminder, if this show is bringing you some value, please make sure that you leave a comment, hit subscribe so they don't miss an episode. Scan that QR code, man, that you see on the screen. Scan it. That'll connect you directly to me. And whether you have any questions or you want to work with me together, whatever it may be, you want to stay in the loop, the QR code will get you directly to me. So please make sure you guys are clicking on that QR code. Well, today is going to be a big one. It's going to be a nice, healthy conversation that we're going to be having. We're going to be sitting down with the founder and the CEO of one of the fastest growing title companies here in the state of Arizona, Adam Driggs of Driggs Title Agency. And if you've been in the real estate game for any amount of time, you guys, you know that title and escrow can make or break a deal. Now, a bad title company can kill your transaction, but a great one, man, is going to save it. So remember that. Today, we're going to go behind the scenes, right? We're going to talk about what really actually happens from contract to close, what separates a good title company from a bad title company, right? We're going to talk about how having the right team in your corner gives you a serious competitive edge in today's market. So, Adam, welcome to the Closing Room AZ.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here today, my friend. It's been a while. I've been wanting to have you on my show for a bit, man. So I am glad that you're here.
Glad to be here.
Cool. Well, hey, for people watching today on this show, man, let's give them a quick story about who Adam Driggs is, right? And what caused you to build a title company here in Arizona?
Yeah, it's a great question. The start of it was, I'll just give you the quick overview, 30 seconds. So early 90s, I got into the technology piece before the internet was the internet, right?
Right.
Started my own thing in 94. Started a .com in 98. In 1998, started a .com that wrote a title and escrow software system that would take your operation and make it cloud-based. In 98, no one knew what cloud-based was.
Right.
So we got into that space. Got heavy with HP and EMC. 2000 did the first digital signed settlement statement in San Francisco.
Okay.
Was our big premiere of the product going live was in 2000. So that was like my entry into the industry. Was really in the .com technology space.
Yeah.
Was where it all started.
Yeah, but you were developing some software for title.
For title and escrow companies, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, man, because I think our listeners really want to know a little bit about, probably a lot about who, obviously yourself and your background, but the title business, right? And so I'm gonna flood you with some questions here, dude.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna try to keep you on track, and I'm gonna try to keep myself on track on some of these questions, right? As we go as we dive into this. Back in '07, you started this business, right? I mean, what was the gap in our market that you said, hey, it's time for me to start a title company?
Yeah, that's a good question. So in 07, the 02-ish, right? The 03, the .com had kind of bust, right?
Right.
So I got involved with a group. I partnered up with them out of Las Vegas. Helped them go from a single branch to 6 branches.
Okay.
And then 2007, decided to break off from that for various reasons and start my own thing. So I basically left everything I had behind and started over in August of 2007, just before the break, man, just before it busted.
Jump right into it and said, let's do this.
Yeah.
Jeez, all right. Well, hey, what were some of the biggest challenges then? When you jump right into it, I mean, what do you think were some of the biggest challenges in those early years, right? That maybe, I don't know, maybe almost even stopped you from saying, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever went that far, but it's a good question. God, the early years, I mean, we're just talking about Driggs title, right? It would have been, the competition was so brutal.
Yeah.
There were a couple for 15 years, right? They were claiming the FBI's in their offices that we'll be out of business tomorrow. This one guy owned a shop, said we'd be out of business tomorrow for 3 years probably. Obviously, 19 years later, we're still here, right?
Right.
So I think in the beginning, it was really the competition that was the toughest. I don't know why there's enough business out there for all of us, right? I don't know what the push was for that, or why the animosity or the hatred almost, but
Sure.
that was the toughest part, actually.
Absolutely. You know, in the title space, man, I got to tell you, it's a very competitive business. I mean, there's a lot of title companies out there, right? I mean, you got the big nationals and you got the regional players out there. But, you know, let me ask you this, man. What do you believe helped Driggs title grow and stand, you know, across Arizona?
I think the number one thing would be if you think about 2008, 2009, when the market breaks, right? All the big nationals, being the big nationals they are, the revenue dropped, the market fell apart. They were removing expenses, right? Knowing that those escrow officers couldn't get jobs, and knowing that because they couldn't get jobs, they would keep the revenue. And there was a lot of people who just didn't have a home, and we actually felt the most for single moms. I mean, escrow officers that were single moms that found themselves without a job. We thought there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to help people out. So the company from the get-go is just it started with heart. So we created a model that was a commission-only model. We didn't have a ton of money. We definitely weren't a national with hundreds of millions of dollars, but we definitely found a way to help people in a bad spot. And to be honest, we went from having 2 escrow officers to having 40. And we let them work from home. As a single mom, you can still take care of your kids, provide. And if you're only closing 3 or 4 deals a month, you don't need to come into the office.
Right.
So it ended up being the biggest differentiator we had was a model that helped other people stay in the game while still providing for their family. It obviously was good for us, but if you're asking what was the number one thing that kind of pushed it over the edge,
Yeah.
it was for sure that.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. You know, you're breaking it down for us, and I truly appreciate that. Let's shift gears a little bit here. I know people that are watching our agents and their buyers and their investors, right? So they actually want to know, you know, what actually happens on your side of the table. So I'm going to drop you a couple of questions here regarding, obviously, the title and escrow part of it. But for someone that's brand new, okay, some brand new realtor or brand new into the real estate business, first-time buyer, new agent, can you break it down to us just in some plain English here, or plain language, however you want to look at it? What title company actually does any transaction?
It's a good question. So at the end of the day, we're ensuring that the home you bought is yours and no one else has a claim to it. The best way to think about the transaction, big picture, is there's basically 3 documents that drive everything. There's a purchase contract, right? What the arrangement is, as you well know, between the buyer and seller, what has to happen for this to close contractually. The second document out of the 3 is the title commitment that basically just says, hey, of all the things on this property, what has to be cleared? What has to be paid off? What has to go away in order for the new seller to have a free and clear property where no one else has rights to it, right?
Exactly.
The third document is the lender's instructions that comes from the buyers. What exactly does the lender want us to do to facilitate and close the transaction? The lender being king, cash is king. We do exactly what the lender asks us to do.
Right.
At the end of the day, we're just like a neutral quarterback. We just quarterback the transaction based on instructions we receive. And those 3 documents are the 3 documents that outline all the instructions of what we have to do as a neutral third party to get the transaction closed.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot going on the back end for sure.
Yeah.
You know, what are some of the common issues that you've probably seen or you've heard with your team that could cause or break a deal when it's in escrow?
Man, the number one thing would be just lack of communication.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Sellers know from the get-go what they have going on that we're eventually going to find out, right?
Right.
The sooner we know about things that aren't paid off, whether there's IRS tax liens or mechanics liens or there's HOAs issues or easements or whatever that might be, it's probate, right? Whatever the complexity is in the transaction, if we know about it day one, there's never a condition we can't satisfy if we have enough time to work on it. The purchase contract puts us under a time bomb where we have to complete conditions within a time frame before we have issues with the terms of the purchase contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the number one thing would be just communicate early. Like,
Communication.
let us know we're on your team. We're trying to get the deal closed. We'll do everything we can to get it closed.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was thinking about that question, man, the other day when I was putting it together, and I got to tell you that communication is key. And, you know, communication in anything is key. To be successful in things that you're doing, you got to have that open communication. And, you know, so people know that I'm a realtor. I share that on my podcast. I use Driggs title pretty much for everything that I do. But I got to tell you that what I love about Driggs title is the communication piece of it. I've had experience in the past where I work with title companies where, man, if I don't follow up, I don't know what's going on, right? I mean, I'm finding out from my client, from my seller or my buyer, and they're like, hey, you know what, the title company is asking for this or that, whatever. I love it when you guys reach out to me before my client calls me up and says, hey, Jesse, we're going to be reaching out to your client. Here's what's going on. We need the following information or whatever it may be. Because then it gives me that opportunity to talk to my client and say, look, man, I'm telling you, that's the service that you're getting when you're working with me and my title company. Because the representation of your title company represents the agent,
100%.
right? And so it's important that communication is you know, it's there. And man, kudos to your team, man, because they do a great job, not just from your title and your escrow officer, but even your marketing guy, man, right? I work with Ignacio. In fact, kudos to your whole team, dude. Seriously, dude, because everyone here is just very receptive.
Very kind.
Even if I can't, you know, if I come into your office here sometimes, man, I don't find Ignacio, for example, who's represents, you know, he's my key guy, right? Man, Chris or somebody else on your team's like, hey, Jess, I could help you with this.
That's awesome.
Jose, anybody, man. Even your printer dude, Eugene, man, he's awesome, dude. I kid you not, dude. This office here, office here is a great office. And I've been to your office in Goodyear, and I've been to some of your other locations, man. And they're all great people. I just love coming here because it really feels family. Like, I'm gonna get off my high horse, you guys, because I gotta tell you, this is my title company I love working with. But I'm gonna go back on track, and I'm gonna ask some more questions to Adam here because I know you guys want to hear this. It's not about how I'm feeling, right? So let's get back on the show here. All right. So anyhow, I do have another question for you. So, how about this question? What should an agent or a buyer be talking about? No, when should an agent or a buyer be talking to the title company in their transaction? Early on, at contract, towards the closing?
The sooner the better.
The sooner the better.
Hands down.
Right?
Yeah, the quicker we get into communication with you, and if you want you and your client, the more we know, the faster we can overcome any obstacles that may appear.
Yeah, you know, and that's anybody, man. That's not just it's not just the real estate agent that should be doing this prior, you know, early on, but homeowners. Even if you're not working with an agent, you got questions and you got something going on, reach out to the title company.
For sure,
right?
yeah.
So it doesn't, you know, it doesn't really matter if it's a homeowner, an investor, or a realtor. It's anybody that's in the real estate business that's looking to do some type of real estate transaction or has questions. Reach out to your title company, give them a call and find out early on, not towards in the middle, because if it's in the middle of the transaction or when you're starting, you may be missing a gap somewhere, and there might be some problems where a title's gonna be like, look, man, if you would have came to me a little earlier,
Right? Yeah.
we could have found the problem, we could have fixed it, or something like that, right? I mean, you guys are the specialists here. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about technology, right? Technology has changed a lot, you guys, in real estate. So, how has it changed the closing process, and what does Driggs Title do differently to improve the experience for other agents and clients? And I have an answer for that, but share with us, you know, as far as technology, man, what is it doing for us?
I mean, the technology, generally speaking, should be it should be technology should never replace communication, right?
Right.
Technology should just supplement it. Sometimes people will use technology to completely replace communication, and then everything is digital. I think that's where you've gone too far. It was never meant to be a replacement of human speaking. It was just meant to supplement communication, so communication was at a higher level.
Right.
So one of the things that we do internally is there's about 31 touch points during a transaction where we'll text, we'll email with supporting documents the milestones in a transaction, and then once a week on Wednesdays we send out a list of all your transactions you have with us, whether it's one or many, with each of the details of the milestones that have been completed with the supporting docs inside of each of those. So technology for us, and I think for a lot of people, is just giving us a way to propagate out communication at a higher level. I just think sometimes people, us included, right, will just use that as the only tool. And I think that's where we've missed the mark. I think real estate is such a relationship-driven business. Technology is never going to take it over. I can't see it.
Right.
But I think technology can definitely supplement it.
Sure. No, I got you, man. And I'll tell you what, like I said, I've used you guys in the past, that, and I work a lot with your company, obviously. But besides the communication, which is, you guys got great service, great customer service, great, I have a great experience with that. I've never had a flaw issue with it, but I'll tell you what, your technology behind that is also pretty premium, man. I love it. It's not just the technology within your platform where you guys got, the way we do things here or how you do things here at Driggs, but it's also the tools and the resources that are available to the agents, right? Your action map, for example, right? The way that works on the back end to get reports and to do things, man. I mean, if you guys ain't familiar with it, I gotta tell you, reach out to your title officer or reach out to Ignacio, man. I'm tell you what, because he'll talk to you guys about some of these mobile apps, some of that stuff on the back end. These, again, the action maps that I'm familiar with, that are just giving you guys that extra level of doing things in your business. It's going to help your business out. So when I'm talking about technology from that piece of it, man, I got to tell you, you guys bring a lot to it. In addition to things like this, right? We've got this podcast room here that we just do some great shows on.
Yeah.
I mean, people on my show, man, I got a lot of people that come on and they're like, Jesse, man, that's a great setup. What do you got going on? I'm like, look, it's not just the setup, but it's the AI technology built into the system that does all these things for us. It streamlines it. So I mean, you put some good stuff together, dude. Let me tell you, I'm impressed,
thank you. Yeah.
And seriously, I'm not just telling you, dude. It's pretty cool. I like it. So
that's awesome.
I mean, this is gold conversation, you guys. Hopefully, you guys are digging this and getting some good info from it. Adam is giving you some good stuff behind the scenes, what's going on, what could cause delays, what some of the issues that realtors or investors may be missing the mark, and he's just sharing some good stuff that you guys are hearing here. I think it's important you guys are taking notes and sharing this information throughout this podcast, man, with your friends and your families, because we're not even done. We got more questions, but as we're going through this, I'm telling you guys, man, there's some good stuff here. So if you're still sticking around, there's more to come here as we're sharing this information. So we're going to dive into another question. We're going to talk about the Arizona market pause that's going on here. So from your seat, Adam, man, so you guys have closed thousands of transactions across Arizona. I mean, I know it, right? What trends are you seeing right now in this market that is probably hurting or working in favor for realtors more so, because I'm in that game and I want to get some little bit of direction, advice from you, or at least your thoughts.
Yeah, it's market shift, right? It's definitely cycles. The way business used to be made or transacted, or the way you found leads in the past, right, is not always indicative of how you'll find them in the future. And it seems like recently where we're seeing the most success, or where the lead type has changed, where agents forever, which I still think is a good model, will farm an area, right? And they'll farm an area and they'll get like a 2 or 3% return on that area based on how often and how many years they've been after it.
Right.
If you compare that to maybe some more distress leads, like divorce leads or bankruptcy,
Sure.
divorce converts at 22%. So you could get a 10x return on your lead type if you switch the type of audience you're approaching, as opposed to just relentlessly following what you've always done because it's always worked. Well, as markets shift and as we've seen, inventory has massively increased due to rates and other reasons. There's definitely still teams closing high volumes. They're just shifting what they're focusing on. And one of the things that we're seeing is these distress leads have always been good. It just hasn't always been a focus. In 09, 10-ish, right, with the short sale craziness, that's where you saw a massive shift, right? We were all doing short sales and short sale processing. It was all about asset managers, right, and trying to get these deals closed.
Right.
And we built some cool tech around that. But it seems recently, and maybe it's because it's a service we now offer in the last 8 months or so, but the types of leads, when you think about the return of the lead type, changes, and if you can get a 10x return, why? If you can do both, do both. If you can do 10 things, do 10 things, right? Get as much exposure as you can. But if you can only do one because your volume is slowed down, then why not pick the one that has the highest return?
Yeah, great advice, man. Absolutely, gotcha. What are you seeing more of in this industry at the moment too, as far as like clientele? Right? Are we seeing more cash buyers? Are you seeing more investor activity? Like, what are you seeing coming in when they're opening up escrow here?
God, that's a good question. It's we definitely have our fair share of investment. I wouldn't say it's the majority. Majority of our transactions are still traditional transactions. We have seen a handful of short sales, but nothing like '08, right, where it was 90% of our business.
All right.
A very small, I'd say less than 10% are short sales. I'd say in the 20-ish% range are investors, and the rest is just traditional buy sell transactions.
Sure. I'll tell you from a personal side, I see that we're, me and my team, my son, we do more, we've been doing more investment opportunities, more investment deals than we do the traditional, purchase, working with the client that's looking to purchase or sell the property or so forth, right? I just see a lot of activity on the investment side of it.
Like the notice of defaults,
Yeah, short sales, notice of defaults, yeah.
Okay.
So it's more, more from the investor side of opportunities. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. And I mean, that seems to be more of our business anyhow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm asking the question, because people either cash offer or investors. And here in Arizona, it seems like everybody is doing investments. Everyone's kind of driving that direction, right?
Right.
And I don't know. I can't speak for other states. There's a lot of marketing going on for investors, but I mean, it's flooded here. It seems like everybody's an investor in some shape or form. And I'm like, I wonder if that's really the case. I wonder if we see a lot of that business through title. So title saying, you know what, it's another transaction coming in from another investor. More so than it's just, hey, a realtor working with the client and they're buying a house or they're selling their property, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, all right. So transactions are getting more complex, I'm assuming, compared to a few years ago. What do you think?
Oh, man, from a complexity side, fraud, hands down.
Really? From the
fraud perspective,
really?
For anyone who's messed around with AI, right, with Claude or Gemini or Chat, right, we know how amazing that is and what a great tool AI can be. But like for everything that's good in life, it seems like there's the bad actors that use it for the wrong reasons, right? And with AI being as powerful as it is, we're seeing fraud go up dramatically. I read an article last week that said the bad actors on the planet are now using AI that used to take months to infiltrate a company, and you can now do it same day.
Wow.
And so with realtors and with the price tag we have on what you guys, the service you offer, right, to buy and sell a house is so large. And when you guys list a home, obviously you want to get as much exposure as you can. We're basically telling all the bad actors on the planet, I've got a giant property I'm trying to sell, right? And they know who you are. They know what your name is. They know you have your social media channels. They find you on your podcast. And now they know who you are. Now they're trying to get right in the middle of that thing to see if they can't thwart either your communication with your clients, right, or your communication to us for your commission instructions. But the intensity on that type of fraud has just gone way up.
Yeah. Dude, I got to tell you, man, I love your perspective on those because, we're a title company, you're a title company, and you're talking about AI and technology, that piece of it, and how it also, it could cause fraud. There's a lot of stuff that could happen by utilizing some of this powerful AI software that's out there, man. And you have a different perspective. Being you're a techie guy, you have that background experience compared to an agent who may not understand that. So having that perspective, man, brings value, and hopefully you guys are seeing that because what he's sharing with you guys right now at the moment, I got to tell you, man, he's on the money regarding those things because if you're not using some of those AI technology softwares, that you haven't, Claude, Perplexity. I mean, there's a lot of that. DeepSeek, and there's a lot of out there. If you're not using those, and if you are using them, the things that you could do that sometimes are a little bit in the gray area, perhaps, maybe, right? You're like, should I be doing this way, or the direction that it's giving you? But man, I love that your perspective is a little bit different from a lot of agents. So I love that you're sharing that. Let's talk about what it takes to be elite in this business, right? And more so for the agent. So if you could give some type of advice to a realtor, an investor, or home buyer, whoever it may be, that says, hey, if you're going to get some real estate going on, do it this way. Anything like that?
As far as lead gen goes, you mean?
Lead gen or you just maybe utilizing your service. I mean, either way.
Yeah. So I think on the lead gen side, it'd be down the same path, right? With distressed leads, convert at a much higher rate is where I would for sure go. As far as exposure goes as an agent, agents are always trying to figure out how do I get more exposure for who I am and the services I offer,
Yeah.
and what makes me unique, right? And you do a phenomenal job utilizing a lot of our tools, the podcast here being one of them, right? That people get to feel you and feel your energy and understand your passion for what you're doing, and the podcast is a great tool to get that out there, and you do a great job at it.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And I think that with all the social media tools, anytime you close a transaction with us, we actually do a review for you, for your agent, that gets SEO coverage. It's all about how can I get you more exposure for what you are doing, whether you're in a transaction or not. And we have a suite of tools that speaks to both.
Yeah.
I don't have any deals. I'm brand new, or I'm just in a low, or I've been on vacation for 3
Right.
months. Like, how do I get back in? We probably have 15 or 20 tools to help you think about that. If you're deep in, and how do I just expand my business and get more exposure for the transactions I am doing, we probably have 10 or 15 tools that help you do that.
Yeah, and you guys do have a lot of good resources available, and I could attest to that for sure because I use them, as you said,
do.
man. And this is one of them right here, right?
Right.
Which is a great platform because without it, man, I got to tell you, I've got a good following of people. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna throw a number out there, but it's pretty realistic. I'm probably getting close to about 50-something thousand hits.
That's amazing.
Congratulations. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And it's really because of the podcast show, and it's because of being able to utilize the resources that you have, right? I mean, I don't have a podcast studio at home. I mean, I come here to Driggs Title, man, because you guys have it for us to use, and because of that, it's a tool, man. It's a tool that helps the realtors. Besides the other stuff that you guys offer, right? That you got going on, which is going to lead me to another question that's going to be pretty similar to this. What I'm sharing here, and that is this. When an agent is choosing a title company to partner with, right? What should they be looking for beyond just the best promos? Because you guys got a lot of promos, a lot of good stuff going on. But besides that stuff, man, what should they be looking for?
That's a good question. I think, generally speaking, in business, you're always trying to complement your weaknesses, right? And so you'd want to look at yourself and say, what am I great at as an agent, and where am I weak? And if you're starting out, not everybody can have a team of people, right?
Right.
You start out by yourself. Maybe you could get like a buyer's agent that helps you out, and a seller's agent, and you kind of grow your transaction coordinator, and you keep going. If you look at where you're at and what you do have, then look at what you don't have like a real vulnerable conversation with yourself. I would then look at what can supplement the pieces you don't have. If you're like, I don't have a lot of internet presence, or I'm not very good on social media, or my ability to send out campaigns to my leads is just not there.
Right.
There's so much that title companies do nowadays to literally help market an agent.
Absolutely.
And so if in any of those areas you find yourself thin or wanting or needing, find those guys that really align with you.
Yeah, for sure. That is the best part of partnering with a solid title company that you love working with, especially a company that is at a different level of not just marketing ideas of how to help an agent, whether you're new or seasoned, or you're seasoned in the business, but having that team, that structure that you currently have here at Driggs, man, that helps, that support those realtors. And that's key. I'll tell you what, I'll speak from a personal level, you guys, as an investor, as a realtor. I got to tell you that I got to find a company that I could partner with, not just because they have a great service, right? Not because it's the name, they're a national or regional title company. I need to partner with a company, man, that's going to know my needs that I need in order to be a successful realtor, right? And I think you guys do a little more. You guys do that and more, because I here at Driggs, man, when I talk to their staff, they give you some direction on how to do things, right? Besides the tools and the resources, because you guys have it. I mean, a lot of companies have it. Let's be transparent with you. A lot of companies have it, but what makes you different? And that's what counts for me. That's what speaks volumes. I got to tell you, man, I come all the way out here to this place, and it's not a short drive. I mean, I come out here, and just because I know what this company offers and I know the value behind it, and I want to buy in on it, right? I'm like, this is the type of title company I want to work with. because it's not just about the promos that they have or that marketing tool, man, but it's the resources and the personal attention you guys give realtors of helping us to be successful. Because you guys bring a lot to the table, man. I mean, they got seminars, they got classes going on. There's something always happening to help develop the realtor. And so it's a plus, man.
Awesome.
So,
awesome. Love hearing it.
No, man,
Yeah,
we
thank you
appreciate
very
you,
much.
dude. Seriously, I kid you not, we appreciate you. And I don't know if you heard enough from other agents, but we do appreciate, man, what you and your team does. I mean, I know you'd run the show, Adam, man, but I got to tell you, your team does a good job.
Awesome. Love it. Love it.
All right, man. So, hey, you guys, this is again real talk. You're not gonna get, you're not gonna get something different here. He's super transparent. He's giving you, Adam's giving you all the right information. Hopefully, you guys are taking notes. If you're taking notes, man, utilize them. Understand these things. You could always rewind the podcast on this one and hear it over and over again. Share it with your friends. Share it with your families, man. Let them know what's going on, because here at Driggs Title, it's all about just real conversations, and it's all about helping out the customer, helping out the realtor, the investor, and the home buyer, man. So we're going to be closing up here. I'm going to have a few more questions for you, man, and then I'm going to wrap it up.
Let's do it.
My last question I have for you is technology. I know it's big for you here at Driggs Title, man, but new technology, anything new that's coming here, new expansions, maybe something new in the pipeline that you want to share with the watchers, people that are watching?
Yeah, I think literally there's not a day that goes by that we don't write some code to help somebody, right?
Yeah.
Our client being our focus, as well as the escrow officer in our sales team. The thing we're working on, that literally I'm working on personally right now, is we build, every time you get a new listing, right, we build those single property websites for you that then create the listing videos.
Yeah.
That then create the 3D videos off your pictures. So
Nice.
It saves you the
Yep.
cost of having to hire a photographer and spend the $500, $750, right?
Yeah.
Get you close to that same type of product.
Yeah.
The piece that we're adding right now that should be here Monday, I was hoping to actually get it done today, but is the ability to take through an interface with another company, is we'll create a source file of your voice after having you record for 90 seconds, right? To get all your inflections and how you speak and how you enunciate. And then with using AI, every time you get a listing, we'll then take the public remarks that you guys put online. AI will then summarize those, and the tool we're connecting to will then read the summary in your voice on each of your single property websites and your listing videos. So now those online and the MLS watching your videos can actually hear your voice describe what the property is as it's flipping through the images or the video of the property.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
So it
dude.
should be cool, man. It should
Yeah.
just a little more closer to the relationship, right? Of like, should I call Jesse? I don't know. He sounds like a nice guy, man. He sounds like he really knows what he's talking about. Because it's one thing to get the promo stuff, but until you can really feel somebody and kind of get a sense of who they are, and oftentimes you can feel that in just the voice of the conversation and how they speak about their product, how they speak about their client, right?
Right.
Gets you. It doesn't get you all the way there, but it gets you pretty close to knowing the man, right?
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I'm actually pretty excited that now every new listing video that we curate for you will have your voice reading a summary of the public remarks to help give that little bit more out there that hopefully people click and call.
That sounds pretty cool, dude. Looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
Checking it out.
should be cool.
Yeah. Use me as a guinea pig, man. I'll be the first one on it.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Let
call
me
you.
know.
I'll call you this weekend.
Let me know,
It should be
dude.
done in the next 2 days. The
Wow.
second thing we're doing is fraud is like the number one thing, because we're the ones holding all the money.
Yeah.
And we're facilitating all that, right? We're the one holding the bag at the end of the day. If there is wire fraud,
Yeah.
it's usually on the title company side. Is we're writing an interface with the DMV or MVD or whatever part of the country you live in, right?
Yeah.
They always make me
MVD.
change that. Yeah. So now we can take a license. When you flip the license over, if you scan that code on the back, it'll actually tell you what the front side should say. But with the interface with the MDV is matching that photo with the one that you're walking in with, saying, is it the same guy? We had a deal in 2009, 2 free and home refinances. FBI said it was the best fraud they'd ever seen. Where the guy actually walked into the branch with a fake ID and then cashed out 2 refis for $2 million
Dang.
and walked. Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
it's crazy. I mean, there's insurance for that and whatnot, but that was in 2009, right? Imagine fast forward, 2015, AI starts to get built. 2022, it actually does get built. We're all using it now. Now those guys are so much smarter and quicker. We just got to have better tools to protect the agent and their clients from fraud.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Well,
Anyway,
I'm glad
so
you get all
those
over
are
it,
the
man.
two big ones that we're all about right now.
All right. Well, appreciate it, man. Last question. I was going to say the most important question, perhaps, but how can people connect with you and your team, man? What's the best way of reaching out to you guys?
Call Ignacio on that number you shared in the beginning,
right.
for sure. He's a wealth of information, can share the tools that Jesse's talking about today. The third Thursday of every month here at the Central Office, 2020 North Central, we have an event. We have an event tomorrow. We have we have a guest speaker speaking on AI tomorrow for an hour from 10 to 11. And then from 11 to 1, we have 2 breakouts. One will help. We have a professional photographer just teaching you, like, how do I use my phone? Like, how do I take better pictures?
Yeah.
That's kind of part 1. And then part 2 is actually in the room here. We'll show you the different ways you can use the podcast room. Like, how can I stream? You actually already do this. Or how can I hook my laptop up and, like, show what I'm looking at on my laptop? We'll go through the whole slew of other ways to use the podcast studio to maximize your exposure.
Yeah.
But that's every month on the third Thursday. Just come by. We actually blast that out. If you don't get it, you're always welcome. Just show up, hang out. 10 to 1, third Thursday of every month.
Or reach out to me on my podcast show, and I'll get that info to you.
There you go.
Definitely will. Adam, man, I truly appreciate you hanging out with me today.
Appreciate you.
Been looking forward to coming to my show here at the Closing Room AZ, man. And I'm glad that I finally got you in here. We had to schedule a while back, but I know you had things going on, and we had to reschedule.
Yep.
But hey, thank you for hanging out with me, man. It was an incredible look on the title side of the business, and you sharing that information with all of us, man. And for everyone that's watching, I'm sure they took away something from it. And if you didn't, man, shame on you. Get back on the show. Get back and rewind it, because there's a lot of info you missed. So, hey, again, if you're a realtor, if you're a lender, an investor here in the Arizona market, and you are working with the title, and you're not, if you're not working with the title company, I should say, that operates at this level that Driggs does, man, give them a call. Reach out to them. If you do, here's that contact number, 602-796-2029. Ask for Ignacio Ochoa. He, again, is the business development manager here at Driggs Title. And when you do, let him know that the Closing Room AZ room sent you guys to him. All right, everyone else that's watching, man, hopefully you guys got some value out of this episode. Do me a favor, please. Hit the like button. Drop me a comment. Share with someone, whoever you need to share it with that needs to hear this conversation, man, because it's gold conversation. So they got to hear this. That's how we get things done together, you guys. And don't forget, you can always find me on Instagram, or you can find me on the YouTube channel at the Closing Room AZ. Hit me with the DM topic, man. I'd be more than glad to put one together for you guys. Ask questions, or just say what's up. Come search me up, and I'd love to have a conversation, chat with you guys. I'm always listening, so hit me up on my site. Hit subscribe, don't forget, so you guys don't ever miss an episode. We're dropping new content every single week, so don't miss it. Again, this is the Closing Room AZ. I'm Jesse Moreno, where real conversations happen and drive real results. Thank you for being here. Have a blessed week, and remember, set no limits. Yeah.
You're awesome.